Time being 6:30, I call the Halifax Planning Board into session. Members present is Collis, Jonathan, and Gordon. On the agenda, we have general discussion for Jordis Rains Estates. Ongoing business, we have Sherwood Drive, Weldy Builders update. We have minutes to go over, no bills. And just the ongoing discussions we have. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as read?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So Welby was not gonna come in, or?
No, I asked for an update by email and have not received a response.
Okay. I took a ride out there and saw that it's washed out at the end of the road. I'm using the
I
picture.
didn't see these pictures yet. Do you take these pictures?
I didn't, no. I think that was one
No,
of the
that is from
neighbors.
the highway surveyor,
Oh.
Steve Hayward.
I took some in the morning. The one that's in the back corner is still washed out, just as bad as it was.
Yeah.
So that one right there still looks like that.
But is that in the layout of the road, or is it in the?
It's
The
in an
side yard.
easement, and it's part of the improvements that would be tied to the construction of the roadway. So I would think it's part of the developer's responsibility to build it and stabilize it.
Yep.
Yikes. You cracking the asphalt already?
That was in the sidewalk?
The sidewalk or the road?
That's the sidewalk.
Looks like somebody drove up on it. With a piece of equipment.
Wow. Did our printer print these? They did a good job.
I saw it all.
Wow.
So, what were they looking for a sign off?
No, we got
Nothing
a-
at this point.
I got an email from the highway surveyor because he received a call from one of the residents at Sherwood Drive. So he went out there, he took the pictures, sent us an email to look into it.
We're still holding bond.
We are still holding.
So we released a chunk. I think there's 5,000 left.
20.
Is there 20?
So, we've gotta fix it up before they get it.
Well, we're not gonna release the remaining until they actually,
They could,
have the road accepted.
How much did we agree to release?
100,000.
You sure there's 20 still left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I didn't think we left that much.
I didn't think so either.
Hmm.
They posted 120, we released 100, so it's 20 plus whatever interest has incurred since
Okay.
they started.
And they haven't got back to us on any of these updates. That should have happened like a month ago.
No, the few updates I actually noted down, I spoke with him,
On that November 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much, the latest that I have from them. I sent an email on Monday, this past Monday, and did not get anything back, or an update on what they've accomplished in the past 2 weeks.
So I think everything that they're planning on doing has gotten done, minus whatever's in that detention basin, because the topsoil is down.
Okay.
I think some of the neighbors seeded that little stretch of topsoil, some didn't. Because it didn't look like it was spread evenly throughout, so if nothing else, that topsoil was down, they'll have to come back in the spring and reseed, because it's not gonna take now anyway.
okay, and then while we're on that, there's some discussion in prior meetings about location of the trees. Yeah. And then did everybody get these?
Yes.
I have one.
Okay, so This is a typical road section that the highway department had proposed to us before.
Is this in the subdivision regulations?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this is just kind of what they were throwing out there.
Yep.
So if we want to accept this, you know, this is something that we can accept into the regulations.
Okay.
But right now, that's not part of the subdivision plates. But we could add that.
Yeah, I would prefer that. And I was looking at Norfolk's subdivision regs earlier today for something else, and they actually identified that the trees should be placed outside the right of way, so I think it's a pretty standard thing to do that.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's happened in the past year is we haven't had this when the plans have come in.
Yep.
So, you know, if this is what we're gonna adopt, that's fine, and we just need to keep this out there so that when the subdivision plans come in, that's what we require. Because I think on this plan here, we approved them in the street layout.
Because that's how it was shown on the plans, yep. Agreed, and I think that's how the subdivisions are written, absent something else that would say you're allowed to do it.
Right.
And it's better too, because there's a 5-foot strip in between the sidewalk and the road, which is a little bit wider than I think we currently have now, isn't it?
No,
Is it about the
this,
same?
this is. I think it- We have 24 feet.
Oh, here we go. So we have a 30-foot pavement width. That's what it says right now, 30 foot for a minor. So we'd be shaving 3 feet off that, which is fine, because the roads are really wide in all these subdivisions.
Yeah, because we're not requiring 30, this is this.
It's yours.
They didn't give us a,
No dimensions. There's not a
Couldn't
single
get anything?
detail.
yeah.
What does the cover page say for, oh yeah, it's 7 sheet, it's 5 and 7.
There we go.
We got them. We got the last 2 pages here.
You folded up.
Nice job.
She said she was cold, she wanted to get up and walk around. There's 24 feet of pavement.
I know, 27.
And
24
on
minus.
the, with the berms.
And that's what we're calling for in this detail.
Yeah.
That's what the current, or the new detail would be.
27 width.
Okay, so that matches this detail.
So, actually, this one shows the tree outside, doesn't it?
That is exactly this detail. Is this not in our subdivision regulations then?
Yeah, well, we, I believe that's the one that we never did,
So are we saying
Voted.
this is what's currently in there, which says that it's a 30-foot road?
yeah.
Alright, so this one was done more in line with what we wanna see. And there's the trees outside the right of way.
And where does he have them now? He's got them inside?
We're talking about Sherwood.
This is
This
what
is a
is,
this is a different subdivision.
we wanted to take a look at this to see where the trees were located
Right,
before we end up with issues.
yeah,
like we have.
these are outside.
Okay.
But Sherwood showed them inside?
Yes.
The Highland Woods did?
All the rest of the houses are outside the right of way
You want?
in Highland. Do you have those plans handy right there too, the Sherwood ones? Kinda curious how wide the roadway is there.
What I'm saying is, I don't think we ever formally adopted that.
So this would be the formal plan of what's in the regulations, which would be wider, right?
Right, but we've been using it, but we haven't formally adopted it.
So we keep, okay. But it's, so we give it to them as a guide, even though it's not in the regs? It's 50-foot wide right away. Yeah, it showed them all in the right of way. Which is fine. We just ended up building them outside. There you go. Here's that same 24-foot section
All right.
with no trees shown. But on the plan view, they were all shown inside the right of way.
But I think if we go back to the file on Highland, we'll find where that was noted at one of the meetings.
Being allowed to have it, yeah. Okay.
This got no side there.
Inside.
Okay. Yep. Is this your street light on it?
No, because those are all further back. Those are all connected to the houses. I don't think the Sherwood ones showed streetlights out, did they? I think it's everything on any of these plans.
Because the streetlights were a discussion that we also had in that. To put them as post lights to each house.
Yep. The larger point is he doesn't want to lose the trees.
excited?
Tight as you can get here.
So is there anything to do? Just ask him to go back and fix the detention basin?
Yeah, I mean, he put them in according to the plan, so.
I think it would be good to formally adopt that. Is there any other typical details that we should consider including in the subdivision regs that aren't currently part of it?
I think everything else was in there as far as the plates. We might be able to update some more stuff though.
So that would have to replace that sheet.
Right. Yeah, and maybe to take a look at the minor, the collector and the major.
I think all the other larger roads, they don't even have curbs, right? If you're getting into the more of the rural streets, like the river streets and all those.
Yeah, they don't have anything on
Yeah.
it. It's just, drainage is just runoff. You know, maybe this is something that we take a look at. One of the highway surveyors asked that we don't put in the islands.
Okay. You know what the reason for that was?
Easy to plow. I think everything else was pretty much standard details that we just adopted.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll have some more discussion on the typical layout and we have a full board here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that layout. We could have that more detailed discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else do we have?
Is there anything specific we need to do about the tortoise rain? Or just for confirming that the trees are outside the right of way?
Yeah, we just wanna take a look at the plan, and make sure the trees are outside.
Okay.
He did put up on the lots. He did bring in some information to start one of the houses, to the building department, but the application is not complete, so.
Okay.
And we can't do any of the minutes.
Any of them?
No.
Okay.
The only other thing was the Board of Selectmen was asking if there were any comments, questions, or recommendations about the firms used for town council.
I don't have experience or knowledge of any of them, so I can't speak to them.
Well, I've never had an issue with the one that we have now, so I really don't see any point in changing.
Do you know what's driving the decision to look at another firm?
Other than they don't like the decisions they get from them, I guess, I don't know.
Okay. So they're gonna re-interview them and those other two firms,
No, they interviewed them already.
but they're gonna evaluate them all.
Well, they were just sending out, they did the evaluation there, and was sending out to the boards for their recommendations. They really didn't say they had a reason to change.
Okay.
I don't know if they were addressing pricing or,
I'm out of the loop
Yeah.
on that one. I don't get to know everything.
so I mean, my recommendation to them would be to stick with who we have.
you like me to send a note to them?
You guys,
I have no opinion. So
Yeah, alright. What do they even do? What is,
well, if we have a question when we're reviewing plans,
right,
we put a call into them, they
right,
give us advice. If we're gonna write bylaws, they would give us advice on that.
yeah,
But they interpret our bylaws and give us a decision, and then we can act on that.
hmm,
Yeah, I would say,
yeah.
send them a note saying, I don't see any reason to change. Any other motions?
to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Easy enough.